Okay, investigation 1.4 on page 12. What we're looking at is Celia collected data along the way and used it to make the graph below. So that's what we're looking at here, day 2 progress. Her graph shows the distance the riders are from Luz as the day progresses. This graph is different from the graph made from problem 1.3, which showed the total distance traveled as day 1 progressed. Alright, so what they're basically trying to say is when Celia made her graph, she didn't graph her distance as a total distance. She graphed her distance from the starting point. And what they really want you to see is that, because every graph that we did with distance, it never did this, where it goes down. So if you think about it, how can distance go down? Even if I turn around and go back, I'm still gaining distance. If you think of a car, okay, the miles on a car do not go down just because you go in reverse or just because you turn around and go back home. It doesn't work like that. All right, the distance always adds on because you're still gaining. So what Celia did is instead of doing total distance, she did it as if, say, you're leaving from your house and you're going somewhere and you're traveling along. And then all of a sudden, you get to a certain point and you realize, oh, I left something back home. So you turn around and you start coming back, which means your distance is going to go down because you're getting closer to where you originally started, which is, so say this is home. So you're going back towards your house. Okay, the distance is going down. All right? As you're going back towards your house, you realize, oh, here it is, I found it. So then you turn back around and you start going back on your trip. Okay? The straight line across is still the same. No distance was gained here. Okay? Which basically means they did not move. All right? So mainly the biggest difference is the dip. So you have to basically justify how did that dip happen. So that was the reason for the explanation that I just gave. All right. So what they want us to do in this investigation is they want us to take this table and they want us to make a graph of it. Given this graph, they want us to make a table. All right, so the first thing that we have to do when we make a table is identify what the variables are. So the variables for our problem are time and distance. So time, distance. All right, time. We always make the scale marks because it makes it easier to see. All right. So it looks like it's going every hour, but if we look closely, we can see there's an actual coordinate in between. So in reality, they're actually keeping data every half an hour. So my time is 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, all the way up to 7.5. But I'm not going to go up that high. I'm going to stop it at 5. Okay, and actually we probably won't even go all the way up to 5 because I want to leave some work for you all to actually figure out on your own. Okay, so after half an hour, they are at, let's see, this is counting by 20 as a scale. Each line is worth 10. So I'm just writing these in. You do not have to do this. It's just so I won't forget. All right. So remember, the scale is counting by 20. Okay? But each line value that is on here is worth 10. So the first point, which is at the, all right, at 0 at 0, at half an hour, which is right here, they're at about 8. 1 is about, I'm going to say 11. 1.5 is about 21. 2, same thing. 2.5, right on the 30. 3, 21. Okay, and all right, I'll do up to the dip down. So that was the dip down. So 3, 21, 3.5, go back up to 30. And then 4, which is, I'm going to say 38. All right, so I'm stopping right there. What I want you to do is to finish off the table. Remember, you're going all the way up to 7.5. Okay? So complete the table. So hopefully I got you off to a good start. So hopefully you can figure out the rest of the coordinates. And we'll take a look at that when you come to class. And on the next video, we will basically look at a completed table. And then we're going to basically answer questions C, D, and E on page 13 of investigation 1.4.